You know, Sheridan, it is interesting. There are many different kinds of businesses. As a matter of fact, there's over 40,000 different kinds of business opportunities for individuals.
Really? I didn't know that.
And David and you have a unique business. That's the CLAGGS Waste Disposal. So let's talk a little bit about it. And I think you brought a video also to show. What's it like, first of all, owning your own business?
I tell everybody, it's wonderful to have your own business, but at the same time, be careful what you wish for, because it is a lot of work, and it's like raising a baby. It's constant. There's in this business, it's hard to have somebody that you can count on to run the routes the way they're supposed to. David is on the truck every day, and if he's not on the truck, he is doing one hauls, which is going and picking up the garbage or the stuff that he can't take on a weekly basis because it might tear the bags. In Gallia County, I don't know about other counties, but in our county, we have regulations that we have to go by, and we are actually inspected annually by the health department, and we have to have little certificates in our windshields.
That's interesting. Now, I think we need to sort of discuss the different kinds of levels of trash management. First of all, most of us who live in cities see the big trucks.
Right.
But in Gallia County, you serve a rural area, and it's my understanding that getting those big trucks would be very difficult.
Getting the big trucks on these back roads, we do what you call a stop, throw, and go. It's curbside. It is an extra fee if they want us to come up their driveway. And there's a lot of these places, there is no way those big trucks would make it down there. We actually had to put plexiglass on our side signs because it was taking the paint off the limbs.
I see.
We're taking the paint off and ruining the signs, so the signs aren't cheap. So, and the gentleman that does our signs, he does an absolutely excellent job on that. And that's something, all of our vendors do really good work. We're very blessed in that. And, but there's no way the big trucks would make it down these rural roads.
Now it's my understanding that with the different customers that you have, you know, customers are the most important part of your business. Would you say?
Well, if you don't have the customers, you're not going to have an income. You're not going to be able to pay your bills.
And it's interesting that you're dealing with a lot of different unique people.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, that's with any business. You have a diversity of a lot of different people. One of the things that helps us keep our base group of customers is that we're on Facebook. I don't put a bunch of crap on there. I put stuff that pertains to our county, our state, or our company. And if we can't pick up the garbage for some reason on a particular route, I post it. And then I start calling everybody.
So let's sort of, for me to understand, suppose I live out near your route and I contact you, etc. What usually do you do to help set me up?
We come out on the weekends and see any potential new customers.
Okay.
And then that way we can see how much garbage you have at that time. And he will give you a price. And we go over the regulations, which are common sense things that people just don't think about because they're not in the garbage business.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
It's stuff that keeps the guy safe.
Okay. All right. And I would imagine the rural area, you have probably a lot of animals looking for food.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I tell everybody, If you got critters carrying into your bags, put them in a can first off, or if you have to set them out, put cayenne pepper on them.
Well, as a matter of fact, you have a training video that you made a number of years ago in which it was common sense, but it also helped. So if you don't mind, maybe we
Please.
can play that videotape.
That'd be awesome.
I'm Sheridan with Claggs Waste Disposal Services. Let's talk about the importance of keeping a clean area around your home and garbage area. We're going to look at some tips to help to keep your garbage secure until your garbage service can pick it up. Each landfill has their own regulations, and we have to go by whatever they say. Like yard debris, we're not allowed to take yard debris to the landfills because it starts fires. Take cat litter and put in the can with the paint and stir it up and make it a solid, and then put the lid back on it, seal it up. As long as it's a solid, we can throw it in there. We cannot take tires at all. There's extra fees. If we put a tire on there and they find them, we get fined $65 plus whatever they decide to charge us per tire. Through the health department, they do have recycling days where you can take your electronics in. They'll take care of the recycling for you. And here you notice there's a garbage can with the lid cocked over to the side, which is a magnet for critters and flies to get in it. And with flies, you have maggots. So if you make sure that you get the lid on securely, get down good, and put both clips up, you're less likely for animals to be able to get into it, or the flies, and without the flies you don't have the maggots. That'll help with the condensation and the water buildup. Garbage bags have a tendency to soak up the water. And here's another tip. Your garbage man will love you if you do this. You take your garbage bag and you tie it in a secure knot, which is a double knot, just like that. And when you carry it, you don't carry it by the strings, you carry it by the top, and then you just put it with your garbage. And here we have some boxes. You get stuff in the mail, or you're going through your house, all you do is clean the stuff out of the box. Break it down flat. And put it with your garbage. Regarding food waste during the week, what I've found to be very effective is I take a gallon-sized baggie and keep it in the bottom of my refrigerator every week. And anytime I have any leftovers or scraps, I scrape it off into the baggie and leave it there all week. And on my pickup day, I put it into one of the bags to be picked up by the garbage service. It helps keep down on the smell and the maggots. Throughout the week, garbage accumulates in the garbage cans. And on pickup day, like most of us, we go through the home and get all of the remaining household garbage and take it out to the garbage cans for pickup. Many of us do this before we go to work early in the morning, and the garbage service pickup may be scheduled for later that day, which means that it will be exposed to critters, wild and domestic. Here's what I do to help keep the critters out of the garbage, and I found this to be very effective. This is chipped up bath soap. I use a shredder for it, and you need to use like a deodorant soap, very strong smelling. And this is the cayenne pepper. And if you use the cayenne pepper, please make sure that you let your garbage service know so they use a good quality glove so they don't get it all on them. And all you do is you open it up like this and just take a handful of it and you sprinkle it around. Wild animals do not like our smell. Make sure that you keep it in a cool place so that it doesn't melt, because it will melt. The cayenne pepper, you just take it like this. And with our garbage service, the guys do know what the red stuff is, and they use good quality gloves.
Sheridan, outside of the different businesses, let's say you've been involved in several different small businesses. One was dog treats.
Yes, I love doing that one.
Being a guest speaker at several different educational programs and guests, etc. But I think one of the ones that I found you to be also very passionate, in addition to the CLAGGS Waste Disposal, is your small arms training program.
Yes.
And I myself am not a gun toter. So I'm sort of new to the understanding of small arms training. First of all, when you say small arms, tell us a little bit about that. And number two, why we need that.
Small arms is, pistols. I consider rifles as small arms also. I believe that anybody, just my belief, is that anybody that is able to carry a gun should be allowed to carry a gun and should carry a gun. If more people carried, we wouldn't have near the crap going on that we have going on.
Understand. Now, in small arms training, though, my understanding of small arms, why do we need the training?
You have to be trained, and you can't just go for it's not smart to go for just the concealed carry license. People need to go further and get more training. It helps you think about somebody coming in your house. How are you going to deal with it? How would you move your family around? Different scenarios. I went to a conference with the Well-Armed Women a year or so ago, and they had seminars, and during one of those seminars it actually showed us, and they didn't just demonstrate, we actually got to do it, where we were going in and checking our homes.
Okay, all right.
And gun safety is a big deal.
Maybe at the end, if it's all right with you, I know that you've been working with Jessamy.
Yes.
Which she has Patronus.
Patronus.
Yes.
I believe I pronounced that right. Patronus.
And you brought a video, and so we'll show that at the end about the gun safety and things of that nature. But it's my understanding you have been very active in working with Jessamy and working with individuals and developing really good safety advice. Mm-hmm. And if there were some words of wisdom that you'd like to give to anyone that has guns in the home or anything of the nature, why the training? What words of wisdom would you give on that?
Just why the training is safety. The more training you have, the more safety there is. And it's a family thing as far as I'm concerned. The entire family needs to, they have actual classes for gun safety. I teach one of them, in which I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter where you go. I'd love for you to come to me, but go anywhere. Get your safety training, get your concealed carry training. In with the concealed carry, they also teach safety. And even if you don't want to carry a gun, you still I still believe that everybody should take gun safety classes, just to give them that knowledge. And
now, it's my understanding that you are also, in amongst many things that you do, learning videography and
I'm working on it.
Well, yeah, the things that I've seen with you, Sheridan, when you start working on something, you put your whole heart and soul into it, and you got the business going well. You're doing accounting on programs that you never had before, and now the gun safety and things of that nature. Like you, I truly believe that it's very important that all of us get the necessary training, in handling guns. Also, I think it's very important people understand the rules and regulations.
Oh yeah, the state rules, federal. There's so many rules. There's rules in anything. We've got regulations that we have to go by with the garbage service, with the state and the county. We have rules and regulations for the gun safety. There are rules, I call them rules, for the emergency preparedness and for the gun, for the guns. It all tumbles in together. And with the emergency preparedness, for each hour you have to drive away from home, it's going to take you between a day and a day and a half to get back home. And people don't think about, how are you going to get home?
Yeah.
So,
Well, Sheridan, it's always been a pleasure working with you. All the different things that David and you have been involved into the community. It's always a pleasure having you come on the show and talk about some of the things. It's just amazing what things that you do.
Thank you. I enjoy doing it.
I'm Patrick Dangle. I appreciate everyone watching and hooking up. And if you have additional questions, we'll make sure that Sheridan gets a chance to answer them.
I'm Justine Bright with Patronus Training, and today we're going to be talking about how to choose a pistol, maybe your first pistol, specifically for home protection or self-defense purposes for concealed carry. I'm also going to talk about how to choose a quality holster, and then we're going to touch a little bit on ammunition for defensive purposes. We started teaching our protective pistol classes, which is kind of an introduction, basics of pistols, a non-NRA class, specifically a curriculum that Tyson has come up with as his Patronus branded class. And from there we had a lot of requests for the NRA basic pistol course. We started offering the NRA basic pistol class for Ohio and West Virginia, which qualifies you for concealed carry. And I recently started doing my own ladies beginning pistol classes, and those are ladies only classes. Same type of thing as our protective pistol, just more geared just specifically towards ladies. When you're first picking a pistol, when you go to the gun shop, you're probably going to be a little overwhelmed by the selection and what's there. The most important thing when you're picking a pistol is picking it for your purpose. It could be home protection or concealed carry. Those would be the two main purposes that you would have. That's going to play a lot into the size of the pistol that you will ultimately purchase. The story I always tell is about my SIG P250, which was purchased for home protection. This is a 9mm, and it's a compact size, but it's fairly large for a lady to conceal on your body. So this was purchased specifically for home protection, and I did learn to conceal carry this pistol with cover garments, etc. So it can be done, but this is pretty large and heavy when it comes to concealing. And recently I did purchase the SIG 238, which is the 380, and it's a smaller size, which is going to be easier to conceal, and this is in 380 caliber. The main thing that you're looking for is when you're holding this pistol out, that your wrist and your hand, when your hand and your wrist are locked, you have a straight line here, and when you go to put your finger on the trigger, rather, you are able, without having too much finger all the way through or too little, that it goes perfectly on the trigger. Alright, now I'm going to talk about how to pick the perfect holster. And one thing I want to tell you is that there is most likely not going to be the perfect holster for your gun for every situation. So what I have here today is kind of a cross-section of the types of holsters you're going to encounter when you go to a gun shop or when you shop online. The first that I'm going to talk about is your in the waistband kind of hybrid leather and kydex holsters. These are my personal favorite. You may like them, you may not. It's going to be this type of look. This particular one is the Ava holster from Flashbang Holsters. It has a nice purple suede backing, clips that this will go inside your waistband, and the clips will go out over top of your belt. You will then have the option of switching, lowering, or raising the clips on both sides, so it's fully adjustable for ride height, how high it sits in your pants, or how low, and for the cant, so you can cant it towards the front or towards the back. So this is fully adjustable. I definitely recommend this type of holster. As I said, this is the type that I use the most. I carry the most with an Ava holster. Another type that you're going to find are your all kydex holsters. This particular one is an outside the waistband holster. This was custom made for me. Roush's Retention Rigs from Bidwell, Ohio actually did this holster for me. Thank you, Matt. This is very rigid. This is a little harder to conceal for ladies. A lot of the guys really love these. Raven Concealment, there's a lot of companies that do these really well. So it's just a hard thermoplastic, it's called kydex, that will go right on the outside. You'll have to thread your belt through the belt loops. So that's another type of holster. Another thing for guys or gals, belly bands. These are basically super stretchy. They have kind of a universal or ambidextrous holster pocket. I'm going to use my blue gun. One thing you do have to watch with these is your holstering, because the tops of this are kind of floppy, where it's made of the spandex. So when you're holstering, you need to watch out for your hands. But this would then wrap all the way around my body, and I'm not going to do that today, but it would wrap all the way around your body, and you can position this high or low. Some fellas like to have it down around their hips, where it basically sits in the position that you would normally carry on your belt. So this is a kind of a versatile holster, especially for ladies if you do not have belt loops on any dress, well, skirt actually, or pants that you might find. So that is definitely useful. Those come in 2 different sizes or 3 depending on your manufacturers. This is a 4-inch wide, this is a 6-inch wide. The bigger ones on me feels more like a corset, so you might like that and you might not like that. Another thing is this type of holster. This is called a pistol wear holster. I don't necessarily recommend this for the smaller pistols, because it's basically just a pouch and it doesn't have a specific way for this pistol to lay in here. Now if I was concealing something larger, maybe not as large as this 1911 blue gun, I would be able to position it in the proper place. This is really great for if you're out walking. Anytime you're going to be sweating, this has a nice sweat shield pocket that all the moisture from sweat will not be getting to your firearm. So this is called a pistol wear, and it's adjustable around the back of the band, and it again would go on your waistband. All right, now we're going to talk about choosing what type of ammunition to purchase for your self-defense. This is a 9mm round nose regular ball ammunition that you would use for practicing, typically target practice. This is also a 9mm round, and this is a hollow point. In a self-defense situation, your hollow points, they have been hollowed out on the end, and they're made to expand. So definitely for concealed carry, I definitely recommend your hollow point ammunition. Ladies should definitely come and take my course because I have experience in teaching you. I know how ladies think, being a lady myself. That's why I was specifically brought on for Patronus, was to provide the female perspective in teaching firearms. Okay, a little philosophy to leave you with. Guns are tools. People are the weapons. And your attitude towards carrying versus an evil person's attitude towards using a firearm against you makes the difference in how that is used. For good or bad, it's the person that decides, not the gun. It is a tool. So learn your tool, learn how to operate it, build proficiency so that you know your firearm in and out, and carry with the right attitude to defend yourself and others.